Real good, hopefully, and final clip for you for the evening, 2:32 UK time. So working the midnight oil, Ripple, and this is one I've largely warned against for a substantial period. And it's wow, we've got the Bitcoin strength. We've just run 4,000 on Bitcoin, major event. Look at that, 4,069. We are, however, going melt up at a HVF geometric target, so this could go quite far and then relapse really hard, so be warned and be careful in terms of this. But it's Ripple I want to talk about, and this has been a tale of woe. So we're looking at the Polynex, that's actually Bitstamp. Hold on one sec. They're both pretty similar, so maybe I'll just work this one. Let's see, what have we got? Yeah, let's stay with the Bitstamp. So here we have it. This is the story so far, you know. I actually made money on this on the long side. We had a lovely setup there. We had another big macro setup there that overperformed. We were taking money off the table at 17 with a bit of overperformance. We were out. Then we got up top here. You'll see I've drawn a squeeze. Now you won't be able to see what's happening in there, but we were covering it in our premium base camp, and this is what was happening. Here was the upside trades from those earlier levels. We were long. I'm not a hater. We've been long this baby, and we did exceedingly well on the upside. But then we got to this key point. This is a great chart drawn by one of my students, and I followed it up. This was the first setup in a new trend, 24, and I've shown this one before on YouTube, but there it was. Big sell-off brought you right back down to that previous HVF. You could have drawn that one in as well with a funnel, but that funnel got broken with that dive down. So that rally straight away told us that we're probably in light of that view, given the funnel was taken due to HVF method laws, that we're going to have a downside. Look at this fairly flat bottom setup, with that being a low one, those being the highs, so beautifully drawn. So you were in for a 13 target, but because it's the first setup in a new trend, we also get overperformance to the downside. And actually, we've been in overperformance to the downside with continual setups, keep on keeping on, all the way on the downside on Ripple. And short of you'd got short at 24, a little bit high expectation, and we trade 2. You will, in fact, if you'd gone short 10 Bitcoin at 24 and we trade 2, you will have made almost, wow, 12 times your number of Bitcoins on the way down, because your Bitcoin relative to this particular coin has just gone up and up and up, while this has gone down and down. So that was the first setup in the trend. Let's have a look again at that live chart, and you can see how many times it's set up and kept on keeping on. So that was that big down move that we were talking about. And I think actually this particular draw is capturing most of that, but I wanted to make sure that I haven't got a more detailed one. I think I have over here. So excuse me, I've got a lot of browser versions. Here it was. There's all the lines going on the upside with the targets. That was the downside. That was the 13, just below 13 actually, target. Then we got this funnel level on the upside became significant again. Look at that inverted. This is a massive inverted setup. A massive inverted setup that went very low vol. You broke, you came back down. We got another wind up setup. This target has just been met and we are ripping it. In other words, you've gone through the 4 level on here. Literally, if you were 4.5s there, and now we're down at 3 nines, and this target is down right here, literally on this at 3.4, give or take. So I think we could run into the lower 2s, because you usually get a little bit of an overshoot, but this trade will have run all the way from up top at advance of the 24s all the way down to the 3s. Let's call it an 8 times, shall we? So had you gone short back then, what if you'd even gone short over here at the 17s and you held till 3.5? Even still, that's significant, going from somewhere around 18s, just below 18s, to something around the 3s level. Certainly 5 times plus, going for 6 times your number of Bitcoins. This is keep on keeping on, and this is also something to watch out for. A lot of coins that are a little bit fluffy. Ripple is supposedly the banker's coin. A lot of coins that are pretty fluffy might actually make for great short targets when we get a really strong Bitcoin. In other words, when Bitcoin is really strong, it's opportunities to get short the trashy coins. especially if they've had a proper pump, which has taken them well beyond where they should be. Because my expectation now, it's not a big ask to ask for this coin now, just breaking through the fours at 3.9 to run 3.4. Who'd have believed it? When I told folk we're going to run 13, they didn't believe it. I was with a consortium that wanted to buy Ripple in and around the 8s, 9s over here at this point, and I warned them against it. And again here at 7.5s, 8s, said we're going to keep on keeping on to the downside. No sign of bottom here. We've just get inverted HVF continuations the whole way. So this is an example. I was a bit nervous about shorting because I wanted to short this one, but it was early doors for me. I wasn't confident around the platforms. I put one on for a short while and took it off, and now obviously I'm in regrets, but I'm emotionally okay with that because that's the game. But I'm going to be watching for overhyped pumped coins against a supercharged Bitcoin for big sell-offs, and this certainly is starting to look in this space. So imagine running 3s after being 24. Many wouldn't have believed that kind of a call. They battled to believe the 13s that I mentioned, and when we got this one and we were pointing to 3s when it was up at 10s, there wasn't belief there either. Even I thought, wow, it's a big ask. It's a big ask for that coin to go down there. Anyway, that's what it's done. At the same time, while Bitcoin has negotiated its big challenge and run itself through this critical level, and it's looking super strong at 4.075. But this is highly impulsive. This is hyperbolic and highly impulsive, guys. So it does melt up. It can go quite a bit in a melt up, and then it can splash down really brutally hard. And that could be an easing period then in the coins. Who knows? But who knows how far it can go in the interim. So the rest of the alts are going to battle a little bit against Bitcoin when it's going like this. And I think it's power to the old model, which is the most established in terms of years. It's been around the longest. It's the most readily accepted. So it's got a lot of power to its wind to its sails at the moment. And now that it's cleared a number of its big obstacles, it's just been unhooked, and it's making actually these other coins look a little bit sickly. That said, Ripple will probably be losing a lot of value even against fiat, so it may be worth me just getting one more chart up to finish this review and do a little bit of Ripple versus the dollar for you, and we can see how it's done. I'll go for Tether on Polo because it's quite a big exchange. And you can see even against the dollar, we've actually had inverted structure on Ripple here. You can see even against the dollar, there, and there. And as a quick draw, you can see that this has been really overhyped and got ahead of its valuation. I wish I'd looked at this sooner because we would have had further confirmation of its relative weakness here. This is a nasty inverted. We love these that come down really. This is a short all day long. Plus it's got a primer. So let's do this draw. Talked myself into a bit more extra work on this clip, and it's going to go a little bit longer, but you want to have a look at this, and it's going to have more downside because it's looking sick as a canary against the dollar as well. And let's bear in mind the crypto Bitcoin versus the fiats, it's just been a one-way game. So by the time you've got a coin like this that's looking this poorly against a fiat like the dollar, you know you're in for a hiding. I hope you're not holders. I'm sorry if I'm bringing you bad news on your coin, but it's got to be said, this is a sick puppy, and you don't want to be in it. Let's have a look at this macro draw. And where could that take you? This looks epic in terms of it. Bear in mind, not every single target is met. Just because you have an HVF doesn't mean it's obliged. It's signed 100% outcome 100% of the time. But it certainly is pretty ominous for those that do. So for the dollar here, it's certainly looking pretty bleak for Ripple because it's at around 16 cents. And this is pointing all the way down to 3 cents, 2 cents 60 if that gets made. Do we have additional structure? Yes, we did. And this is what I want you to see. See that? We always look inside the funnel. What's been going down? That would be your stop over there for that risk. real funneling there. Look at those spinning tops. That's exactly what you want to see. Spinning tops. And that would be your entry shorts you could have got in earlier there. Note the return move to funnel there. It's pretty textbook that, and you can see the impulsive break occurred then. Since then it's been pretty bad news for Ripple, and I would argue that you're in structure again here, where you're probably at, and this is against a dollar, man, come on. No crypto should be losing against the dollar. This is an absolutely bankrupt currency, and yeah, this points to, wow, terminal decline. If it really gets down to just north of 2 cents, it's a pretty grey old day for this particular coin, and I would argue that the likelihood of it recovering from there would probably be exceedingly suspect. So you've got a bit of a, once again, an ascending, like the primer, a bit of an ascending setup. You'll learn all about that on a course and a program, and why we call it ascending and what it actually means. But once again, you had real tight funneling. And every time I've looked at it, I've thought, is it too late? Is it too late? And I thought, no, you can't chase this one short against Bitcoin. And actually, I would argue with this outlook on fiat, it's actually, who knows? This could be almost terminal for the coin. Maybe they're going to call the project off. I don't know, or it's going to go just down to that level and just be a really low cap coin. We'll see what happens in the end of all of this. This interim level here, the second interim level, let's see where it sets up. It looks like it's going to confluence with this wind up over here. This could also mean some dollar strength. I don't think it, but let's say Bitcoin cools down and all the cryptos go down, you might find that this could mean some dollar strength. But this is a lot of downside, and it's really spilling now after a week grind. That's it. That's the Market Sniper with you. I'm giving you your update. It's time for me to turn in. It's late here. Hope you found this useful. Ripple is a sell. Do not be a holder of Ripple. That is my take. That is my take, and it's been my take for a while. If you want to find out how to become a member of our community and keep you out of the worst coins, maybe even shorting them, and keep you in relative strength using HVF method, get in touch on the Contact Us page on the Market Sniper website. You go to the Market Sniper website and you go to the Contact Us page, fill in the form, book in for a chat. We'll see if it's something that suits you and profile wise, and we can talk further from there. Okay, love you and leave you. Thanks for listening. Please share and like if you think it's worthy. We appreciate it from a proliferation point of view, and I'll speak to you all soon. Trade small, trade safe.